Well, hello. Hear ye. I hope that your day is going well. It is yours truly, back again with another video. It is a rainy Sunday, child, honey. It's raining, which is always a good thing because, we gotta make it rain and clear it out. So I think it's rain is all right with me. I prefer the sun, but everything has its purpose. So, as you can see, I'm going to get right into it. The title of the video is about some lessons that I have learned about personal safety and data protection. I will give you a little bit of a backstory of why I think this is very, very important, about my own experiences. Not too in-depth, but in-depth enough for you to understand maybe why I think the way I do and why I have decided to move in the way that I have, because of all of the important things that I have learned over the years when it comes to how we give and receive information with other people, how information is used for us and against us. The things that I have experienced can really happen to anybody, is what I've come to understand. As much as you may feel like you're targeted, if you know the wrong person who is involved with certain type of activities, this can really happen to anybody. I mean, sometimes you don't even have to know them. It can just be you got, and that's just the way it is. However, I will start from the beginning. So basically, let's see. The things that have transpired in my life as it relates to like financial exploitation, identity theft, the misuse of my personal information, illegal activities, and any misrepresentation of who I am as a person, as an individual, primarily stemmed from one group of people. At least that's how it started. Let's just say that this is how it started. It has expanded to a great conglomerate at this point, but it started with one specific group of people, and that was my family. And they decided to, specifically my parents, decided to collaborate with other family members, as well as a vicious ex, a previous partner who has just usurped the kingdom and has run amok of my life over the past 10 or so years. I'll say 7. Let's say 7 years, and it's just been one big orchestration. And people think I'm lying when I say it's an orchestration, but I'm like, baby, that's the only thing it can be. Because and as you listen, if you live long enough, you know what is and what makes sense, what doesn't. You know what your life looked like before bad things started to happen. You know the steps you've taken in your life and how your life looked prior to certain people coming in and out. So as much as people may want you to believe like, hey, like you did this, you caused this, you allowed this, I'm like, no, actually I didn't. Actually, I didn't, and I won't take the blame for people's poor choices. I won't blame myself for people's behavior. I don't think that's fair to yourself. You have to own your part in it, but I don't feel like it is fair for you to take on the responsibility of other people's transgressions. I just don't believe in that, because we all have a part and a role to play, and as much as you may think, I allowed this and all this stuff, honey, you could have not allowed it and something else bad would have happened. So it's as much as we try to circumvent things, honey, life is life and that's just what it is. And because of these people, primarily like my father, And several disgruntled men are very, very upset with me. And so they decided to say, this is what we're going to do. We are going to basically ruin everything for you on the front end to where you are not able to provide for yourself. So if that means we have to ruin your reputation, if we have to lie and say terrible things about you that are not true, if we have to ruin your family, like taking your kid away from you, which all of these things happen, right? Everything that we possibly can do to force you into financial submission. So you have no choice to either do things that are illegal, usually. However, what you don't know in the background is that we have stolen your identity and we're committing crimes in your name. You don't know that we have houses and cars in your name in multiple different states. You don't know that we've used your name on the dark web and created lines of credit and walked into banks as you and stolen your ID and your banking information, and that we've done all of these terrible things to you behind the scenes. And that even after that, after all these years and all these things that happen, because you would think like if people are doing all of these terrible things that they would have come up by now, right? That they would have like hit the lick, that, you know, that they go and move away and you never hear from them again. Oh no, they're still at it. Years and years and years and years and years. They're still at it. All of these people have been involved, and they've involved more and more people to the point where they have allowed so many people to steal my identity and assume my identity that it is very hard for me to even be identified now. Because my license was stolen, my bank account information has been stolen. So it is hard for me to go and get certain things without actually like going in, like going over the phone is not enough. I have to be like in person and bring in actual documentation. Like my unemployment, that I had a fraud situation with that. So during the pandemic, I wasn't able to get any money because my unemployment was hacked, and they basically stole all of my funds. In Tennessee and in California. Let's see. And when I went through my credit, I had inquiries everywhere. And here in Texas, even before I moved here, of cars and houses in my name. All of these inquiries that just tanked my credit over time to where it was nothing I could do. And then when I did the dark web scan, it showed me like all of my information was on like 41 different sites, in places that I've never even lived at before. And so all of these terrible things, what was going on in the background, and everybody knew everybody was getting paid. So along with like the financial exploitation, there was the humiliation stuff that was going on like behind the scenes, where people was, you know, posting pictures and doing the human trafficking stuff and making money off of that, and possibly like explicit photos of me or Photoshop photos of me, because a lot of times people will Photoshop things and make it appear like it's you. They can put your face on something and say, hey, this is you, and it's not. Or they can alter things within your computers and your laptops to they can change times. They can do a lot of stuff. I've realized like how effed up technology really is, and people can really, 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 really ruin your life if you are not vigilant about your information and who you talk to and the information that you give. And the simple things that we do, like, hey, you may just something simple, like somebody that you feel like you can trust. The very people that you feel like you can trust are the very ones that will set you up, okay? The very person you may feel like, hey, I could leave them in my house and go to the store and come back and all my stuff would be there. They took something while you was gone. Or if they didn't take something, they was snooping. They was looking through your paperwork. They was going through your kitchen drawers. They was doing something, okay? So now I've come to realize that it wasn't just only that my family was being used. They have now, I think, shifted to using minors, specifically my kid. And they decided to basically now the new gimmick is that when people have online businesses and they leave, or if you have a YouTube or you have an online store or something like that, and you know how people will say, hey, like if you want to send donations or whatever, you can use their Cash App, their Venmos, their any form of payment that you want to send, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Those are the main ones that Zelle, anything like that, right? They can use your phone number and scam through your personal information. And this is why I talk so much about protecting yourself and protecting your information. People think that I'm just being anal or I'm uptight, but I don't think people understand how far this stuff goes and how many people are involved. And if they have enough of your basic information, they can literally ruin your life. And because I'm saying, like, they can literally go into vital records and erase your existence as if you were never born, okay? If they have people in healthcare, they work in the IRS, they work in banking systems, they work in healthcare, because basically it's organized crime. If enough people know enough people, and it may not necessarily be like a crime ring or a gang of, it just may be people that know enough people. People that are well connected, and if they know people in the judicial system, they know lawyers and people that are willing to take a little something under the table. Hey, you do a favor for me, I do a favor for you. That's just what it is. And in their mind, there's always casualties of war, and if you just so happen to die in the war, that's just the way it is. As long as I win and you lose, it doesn't matter. But when I found out, I was like, right before I moved to Texas, I had got in touch with my daughter because I've always known that something was wrong. I've always known that she has been a pawn in this game, and a big reason why I had to stop talking to my family was because I knew that my phone calls were being recorded. I knew that my text messages were being distorted. I knew that there were fake emails being made, because I would get kickbacks of like people sending me stuff saying like, hey, you paid for this. And I'm like, I didn't pay for that. Or I would get emails saying, hey, you tried to log into your account, and if you weren't able to get in, contact us. Like, those kickbacks of information, to where I knew that I was being hacked all the time. And I just had receipts of all of this over the years of just constant breaches of my security, where people have repeatedly gone in and pretended to be me and sending information as me to exploit me. And that is a big reason why I've had to stay to myself, because a lot of people that have been sent into my life have been sent to pretend to be my friend long enough to get more information, to either sabotage my plans or to keep me in a repetitive cycle of financial exploitation. And that is people that sit from everyday people walking by to people that sit in very high places. And I have no lies to tell. Like, I don't have anything to gain from telling the truth. I don't. I'm already here, honey. Like, I've already been, like, I have all the documentation to prove what I'm saying. So I don't have any lies to tell. But when I knew that my kid was involved, I was just like, I knew several years ago something was wrong, and I knew that she was being used at the very least. And so I had to stop talking to her, because I knew that if I give too much information, because I knew she was asking me questions that was being filtered through someone else. Like, where do you live? What part of town you on? Where you go? Things like that you usually should be able to feel comfortable to tell your kids and talk to them. I couldn't do that. I could no longer do that, because I knew that basically she had been compromised, and I knew that it was just all for show, and that more than likely she was forced to do things that she didn't want to do. She just turned 18 July of last year. So I know all of this happened while she was a minor. So I'm pretty sure she's been forced to do a lot of things she didn't want to do. But I won't get into the deep knowing of what I know. But they know that I know. But most recently, when I contacted her in October of last year to inform her that I was moving closer to her, I knew then that something was wrong. Like when I contacted her the first time and I had the conversation, I was just like, I'm not talking to her anymore. That's another reason why I stopped talking on the phone. I don't really like talking to people because a lot of people, like I say, a lot of calls are being recorded. A lot of times your information is when they record your information, they will break down your words and try to regurgitate it into something else, or take your words out of context and then re-record it and then present it out as something that it's not. That is the big thing. So that's another reason why I don't show my face. And I don't really get too touchy-feely with people because it has just been a shit show, to say the least, when it comes to finding authentic people in my life that are not associated with this confusion. And I knew then when I had the conversation that my daughter knew everything that happened, that she was very much a part of it, that they had been using her to scam and hack. Because I started to see, like, on her TikTok, the type of money that she was having. I'm like, girl, you work at Sonic. You work at, like, a chicken place. Like, I know you ain't making that kind of money. So what you doing? Hey, I mean, she might have a side hustle. She might, maybe the things that I don't know. But baby, I knew as soon as I gave her my number, that's when I started getting all the spam calls. And nobody had my number. I don't talk to nobody. That's when all the spam calls started coming in. That's when all the emails, that's when I started getting like weird text messages. Like people was using my number on different sites. People was using my number. Like that's what they do. They use your information to pretend to be you. And then they hack into all of your information to try to steal what you have, whether that's your banking information, like I said, all of your apps, your email addresses, because that is what we use nowadays. Our phone number verifies who we are, because you get the text message, the 2-tier notification. You have to use your phone number. You have to use an email address, right? Well, when people know that, and then the email address identifies it as you. So say if you have email, johndoe.25.gmail.com, that identifies who you are. But what you don't realize, for example, my name, the email address that I had, that I still have, what they did was there is a default on Google where you can say, okay, I'll just make it plain. It's Candice, Carey, 11@gmail.com. They created a default email where it's Candice Carey 11@gmail.com. It doesn't look like it's a difference, but one has a period. The real one has a period. The other one does not. So but what you don't realize is that there's a lot of defaults that go to that email. And it looks exactly the same, but if you're not consciously aware, you will assume that it's the person that you're talking to, but it's not. And so I have seen where a lot of like spam and things will come back, things that they don't even know that I have, because it was like a default. Like a lot of like group texts and different things, they don't even know that I know. They don't even, a lot of the spams and different things that get kicked back to me because they've used my information, they don't even know that I know that, but I do. That's what I'm saying. I don't have to lie when I'm sitting here seeing all the residuals of all of my personal information being sent to me and being used. I don't have to lie at all. And so when I started getting the spam calls again, I knew I was like, either she doing it or she gave them my information. And then, so that's when I just stopped talking. I didn't even call her back. I came, but I didn't tell her I was here. I didn't go and see her. I didn't do anything because I cannot associate myself with anybody that has anything to do with that situation, because the goal is to make me look like I was connected to some shit that I wasn't. The goal is for me to go down for all of their crimes they committed in my name when I done sat here in poverty for over 2 years. That I done sat here and lost everything because of what these people have done to me. And so I can't even say anything to anybody. So people were just calling just to get information. People were just calling just to be like, oh my God, like, how are you doing? And when they never know, honey, they're just trying to get information. Because when shit get tough, like right now, when shit get really bad, can't nobody say they was there. Nobody showed up. Nobody said, here's a couple dollars, Candice. Here's money for a hotel. Here's like, hey, where's Zoria? How y'all doing? Is everything okay? No one has said a word because everybody knew. Because everybody was looking to benefit off of my demise. So when I say that this stuff is very serious, like, it is. And I am very protective of my name, my body, my brand, my image, the things that I'm working on and trying to work towards to rebuild my life. Yes, it may seem anal to the person outside looking in, but I don't think people understand how deep the rabbit hole has gone for people who have tried to really hurt me. And I've had to do everything to protect myself, to maintain my life. What the small things, just the basic things, not even nothing spectacular. So I can sit here and officially say in my life that I am done with my family, all aspects. I love you all, not really. I mean, I don't really have love for anybody. I let you go in love. I let it all go in love. Like, as long as you can just go and never come back, I'm cool with that. As long as you can just go on your way and leave me out of it. Stop using my name. Stop stealing from me. Stop trying to steal off of me. If everybody could just go in their corners, they respective corners, and just go on, I would be happy with that. I don't need apologies. I don't need explanations, because I know what happened and I know what you did. And it's just, you'll never really be able to make it right because you purposely did it. And you still purposely did it. Like, this is not like something that happened like 2 or 3 years ago. Like, up until like right now, this stuff is still going on. I'm still getting text messages. I'm still getting notifications. I'm still like seeing, like, it's still there. So it'll never ever be a time where there's like a peace treaty or anything like that. Not for me. I just want it to be over. And once it's over, and we can everybody can accept their fate for what it is. And so with that understanding, I would like to share the things that I have learned about personal information and your identity, and the things that you share with people, even people that you love, people that you think got your back. I don't care if it's a significant other, your marriage partner. It doesn't matter. Please protect yourself. Don't ever get too comfortable to believe that somebody would never do this to you, because they can and they will. Don't ever put somebody too high on a pedestal. Don't ever assume that that would never happen to me. Okay. My family would never do that. Okay, girl. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But why have you here? Listen up. Okay. I will start with Let's start with the things that you say, whether that's in public, on the phone, to other people. Learn to give less information as possible, especially if you're a woman, any kind of woman, black, white, Hispanic, don't matter. When people ask you where you going, not too far. Do you live around here? Not too far. Where you from? The South. Stop being so giving of information. Everybody doesn't need to know the intricate details of your life. And the primary reason is because people are always trying to dissect you. People always are like one Google search away of trying to figure out who you are. And all they need is your first and last name. And you could walk into a room and people just not really be fond of you for whatever reason. You may not have nothing to do with anything. You may just walk in and you're being yourself. And you're talking and you're laughing and you're engaging and you're canoodling and you're just being you. Real chummy, real cute. There's somebody out in the corner. Like, I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all. It's like that Petey Pablo video. Who is that? That's Petey Pablo. I don't like that. I'm gonna drop a dime on him. Like, wherever you are and when you up and you in good spirits, honey, know that hate and envy is somewhere in the corner. Understand that when your light is shining, baby, hate and envy is somewhere in the building. I'm sorry. I don't care how many people love you, how many people applaud you, cheer you on. Somewhere in the cut is somebody that ain't feeling it. And that's okay. That's their business. That's their hatred to carry. However, you must understand that you must protect yourself at all times. You must always keep your head on the swivel. It is your responsibility to take care of yourself. That's just the way it is. It as much as I can say that I can blame people for what they did to me, I can also own that there's a lot of things that I let fall through the cracks. There's a lot of things that I just assume. That's why I say when you're a good person, you assume people gonna do right by you. You assume people gonna treat you. I was good to you. Why would you do that to me? Because they dirty. Duh. Like you that's what I'm saying. You gotta get out of that sweet valley high shit. Like no, like you can't think like that. I'm sorry, especially if you're a person that aspires to be great or have wealth. Like, you cannot think like that. You cannot assume that people are going to be good to you just because being good is the right thing to do. It's just not. That's not this world. That's not the reality. Are there good people in the world? Absolutely. But don't be a sucker, man. Don't allow people to play you. That's just the way it is. Like, you as much as you want to relax and be cool, you can't. Not with everybody. And with that being said, even if when you're out in public and you meet new people, like, be vague. Like, everybody don't need your social media. Everybody don't need access to you. I feel like that we've gotten so in a space where we feel like the more followers we have, the more value we have. But I feel like, no. Especially if, like I say, if you got a million people following you, but you're not really doing anything with it. You're not inspiring these people. You're not motivating these people. You're not changing their lives. You're not, like, you just got a bunch of people following you, which is insane to me. Like, I'm like, why are you here? Why the fuck are you here? Like, who are you? Who sent you? I need answers. I need a background check. I need who? I just don't want anybody following me. Like, that's just weird. I'm sorry. I've never been into the concept of social media. It's just a no for me. But even still, I get the benefits of it and how it can be used as a tool to really catapult people from the business aspect of it. I think it's great. Personal, not so much. Because there are a lot of monitoring spirits and people that's just sitting around looking for your information. They're just looking to have something to say. That's just looking to screenshot some shit and then hold it for like 6 years and then bring it back up. Like, remember when? I'm like, no, girl, I took that down. I archived that. I didn't even, you kept that? You've been holding on to that for 6 years just so you can come back and have something to say, girl? Okay. You did that. Kudos to you for learning how to save. You couldn't save money, but you saved a picture. Okay. I'm gonna leave that there. Be conscious of the things that you say online. The internet always keeps receipts. Be conscious of the things you share online. Even if you're being honest, we got this freedom of speech thing that we do. But just be mindful, like I say, that things can be taken out of context and people can exploit your information. People will steal your shit, edit certain things, and repost it as you somewhere else, maybe on a hate site. That's something else that I realized that they were doing. They would take my content, edit it down to say certain things, and then place it somewhere. And then all of a sudden, I would be getting like attacked by trolls and different hate groups and stuff like that because it was made to seem like I said something that I didn't say, but my information was being used for something else. So I was getting attacked by racist groups, LGBT people, all of these different subgroups of extremists were all attacking me on different social sites and stuff because my information was being exploited. So this is what I'm saying. It's so much deeper than just than making your page private, or it's a very tangled web that has been woven, at least for me in my experience. And so I understand that when you are a person that aspires to be great or to be wealthy or to be affluent in this life, that if you notice, most wealthy people out there don't have social media, or if they do, they don't run them, and they're not on them. They may browse, but as far as them engaging and actually commenting back and different things, they got things to do. And so in knowing that, I have just decided to not. I don't really need it. Not really. I don't really need to. I do this, what I do as far as my YouTube, for informational purposes, to just share my experiences and things that I've learned, and hopefully that it will help somebody else. I don't really do it for any other reason that like when I get off here, I haven't checked the algorithm. I don't check how many views I get. I don't check any of that. I just drop a video and I leave it. I don't my blog, I'll blog and leave articles. I'm not overly obsessed with the numbers, and that's just not what it is for me, because I may not be known by anybody today and be known by everybody tomorrow. So I just do my part. I give the message. If you receive it and you hear it, great. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm good with that either way. But for women, when you are out at banks, at hotels, gyms, or anywhere where you are out and you are by yourself, be mindful of giving out your personal information. When you are on phone calls, giving out, when they say, hey, can we have your social? Can we have this or that? Please make sure you're in a secure location when you're giving out that information. Please make sure that your phone, everybody should be using Google numbers, in my opinion. Nobody should be giving out their real phone number anymore. Everybody should be using Google numbers, in my opinion. because everybody is willing to hack your stuff. As I say, your phone number is connected to everything that you do. And if people have access to your real phone number, you do not realize, like, your phone number, they can mirror your phone. They can clone your phone to where everything you do is monitored and surveillanced. Every app you have is compromised. So that means I can see your banking. Every password you have, I have access to. So you're done. And if you're not aware of that, you'll wonder why, like, hey, how is this money going missing? And I didn't use it, or, why are these things happening? And I can't really understand why, because you've given away your information. And a lot of people's like, I ain't gonna worry about that. It don't matter. Oh, it doesn't matter until it happens, baby. It doesn't matter until it happens. And once that snowball gets going and you have been compromised or your identity has been stolen, it is a uphill battle probably for the rest of your days to try to protect yourself, to try to maintain your assets, and to have some sense, because that's your identity. Like, that's your sense of self-worth. Your personal well-being of who you are, the things that you have worked for, your net worth, all of that stuff matters. And when it has been compromised in America, there's really anything nobody can do. All you can do is monitor it, dispute claims, but to actually like sue and take somebody to jail, it costs a lot of money to do that. To get a lawyer, to find like identity theft broker to go through different sites to try to get your name off stuff like this on the dark web, it's a lot of money involved. Probably more money than what you've probably lost. It is very, very challenging. So I say this as a person who is still going through, still trying to rebuild, still trying to find a sense of who they are based on all the things that they have lost. Please protect yourself. Male or female, doesn't matter. Protect yourself. Protect your name. Protect your identity. Protect your children's information. Don't be so willing to just give out fucking information. Don't tell everybody where you're going. Don't tell everybody what you're doing. Don't tell everybody what you had, what you finna do, where you about to go. Everything is not for public consumption. Because there's somebody in the cut that's keeping the score. And as great as you think you are, you may think, like I say, people think I'm paranoid, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm just putting 20 on 10. That's not the case. That is not the case, especially if you are an upright person that's trying to create and influence change. Especially if you are a person that wants to live a better life and have more for yourself and for your children, for your family. It is it can be difficult. So I don't know what to tell you. As far as, like I say, as far as you won't be grown and you're gonna do what you want to do. But I would love to save you some time. I would love to save you a little bit of heartache, a few dollars, whatever I could do to try to help you, because it's not what you want. Even if you have romantic partners and you think like, oh, we're gonna get these joint accounts and they got your social, they got all your, listen, baby, everybody need a stash. Even if you're married, I think every single individual, male or female, should have a stash somewhere. A get out of Dodge. You should have a bag packed and some money somewhere in a storage or something, somewhere at all times. Passports, IDs, medical records, everything. You need to have yours together at all times. Don't ever put your life fully in somebody else's hands. That's how you get got. It is nobody else's responsibility to take care of you but you. Regardless of who you get with, you cannot blame that on somebody else. Even if I get married, I'm going to always look out for what's in my best interest. Yes, we together. I love you. You my baby. You my boo until you not. And with that being said, I'm going to always make sure that my back is covered. because people break up and things get messy. You'll be sitting there with nowhere to go, no credit, no resources, no work experience, because you put all your faith into one situation. And I just can't do that. I cannot do that. Also, the computers, like I said, be mindful of your passwords. Shut down your computers at night. Shut down everything. Close out all your windows. Shut down everything. Lock your computers at work, even at home. Don't assume that people won't go through your stuff. If you're staying at hotels, keep your computers and stuff locked up. Don't leave stuff just out. When you leave your hotel room, lock all of your stuff up. Whenever your things are unattended, lock everything up. I don't care who it is. You may, like I said, you may think that they're gonna lock it up. Shut it down, lock it up. Keep luggage bags, the luggage locks to keep it. Even when you go through the airport, keep the luggage locks. If you go out of town for your house, put the lock on your door so where people can't get in. People just can't they know you out of town. So, secure yourself. Secure yourself, secure your home, get alarm systems, get a dog, get everything you put every monitoring feature on your financial information that you feel like you need. Lock all of your credit scores, all not your credit scores, your credit reports or your credit Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. Go to there, freeze all your stuff. All your stuff should be frozen. If you're not using it, freeze it. Do dark web scans to see if any of your information is popping up on sites. Do credit monitoring where you're aware of your credit score at all times. Every single month, you should know what your score is and where you stand. If it's going up, if it's going down. If it's going down, you need to know why. Because obviously, if it went down, something happened. Either you didn't pay a bill or something came through on your credit that should or shouldn't have. You need to be aware. You got to be out here with a vengeance when it comes to who you are and your identity and your personal information, because this is getting sick. The way people's stuff is just being breached. It seems like every company. It ain't just about what happened to me and what my family did to me, but if you notice on the news, every single company is giving out settlements for data breaches. Listen, like go look. I wish there was a way that you could just go and Google it. Cash App, Venmo, all of these companies, everybody is giving out settlements for breaches of information. And I don't even think it's a breach. I think they selling our information. Truth be told. I think that they are selling our data so people can see our spending habits, how much we spend, so people know how much money you have. They know where you go, they know what you eat, they know what you buy, when you come, when you leave. It is greater than just privacy breaches, darling. And I think it's just important that we empower ourselves, especially people that are of low income, that are homeless, that are disabled, that are mentally ill. Anybody that falls within vulnerable populations. I think it is very important that you are aware of your information, because those are the people that get took the most. The shelter that I stayed at in California got in trouble for embezzling because they were stealing people's checks. They were stealing homeless people personal information and opening up accounts and lines of credit in their name. I'm serious. Like, a lot of these people that work, these CNAs and these people that work in these nursing homes and stuff like that, people that are incapacitated or that are paralyzed or anything like that, those people get taken advantage of because a lot of them don't have family. A lot of them don't have advocates. A lot of them don't have proper social workers that actually care about them. See, a lot of these social workers just like to sit around and listen. As my caseworker told me, I can't do nothing for you. I'm just here to listen. That's what I was told. So, you have to be your own advocate. You have to do your due diligence. You have to ask questions. You got to double check. You got to ask people names. You got to call back. You got to send an email. You got to ask the supervisor. You have to do that because people will play you. And if you don't hold nobody tail to the fire, they not going to give you what you need. They not. As long as it is sad that that's what it's come to. But I really want to encourage people to protect themselves. So don't assume that bad things won't happen to you, man. Just put yourself in a place of protection and preparation and prevention, the PPP. That's what I call it. Of knowing, being aware of the things that could go wrong and putting contingencies in place to hopefully prevent those or mitigate things should they happen. That is about being an adult. You may not be able to stop it, but you at least can manage it or resolve it if it should. So that's my story. That's my take on it. I was just trying to think if there's anything else that I want to say, but look at your settings on your phone. If there's anything that could possibly, open you up to being susceptible. Oh man, susceptible to being hacked or your phone being cloned. Look at what you need to do to protect yourself. Be mindful of, like I said, a lot of times with like Google, they will ask you, do you want to save your password or your address? Don't do that, because if you ever get hacked, they will have access to your address, to your passwords, to every site that you've been to. Your phone is that same thing. If your phone has been mirrored or cloned, all of your apps, every login that you have, they will have access to. When you meet new people, don't necessarily tell people where you live, where you're going, when you leave, when you come back. Don't be a creature of habit so much either. Don't always go to the same places. Have a different routine every day, because if people know that you leave every day at 10 o'clock and this is what you're doing, this is when you leave and when you come back, do something different. Leave a little early. Do things in a different way. Nobody should be able to have you pinpoint it every day. Do things to protect your name, your phones, your information. Get a VPN. I had a whole list of like stuff, but I'm not gonna give it out. But there's a thing where you can get a VPN that protects your IP address. And so people, if you're using like Wi-Fi and stuff like that, people don't have access to your information. You try your best not to use public Wi-Fi, because that's another way you get hacked, and because people are sitting there through public Wi-Fi and just scanning people's information. That's another way you can get taken advantage of, is using public Wi-Fi. So, and educate yourself. Go take some classes. Everything that I'm saying is all public information. And if you don't believe me, go take classes. Go take cybersecurity classes. Do a simple Google search and start looking up. If you want to debunk what I'm saying, go look it up. Go look everything I'm talking about. Please go look it up and figure out how it can work for you. But everything I'm saying is things that I noticed, that I experienced myself, and how I know that it contributed to me being hacked. So a lot of times we give out information so much, and we don't realize how we contribute to our own dysfunction and our own, I don't want to say demise, but just poor experiences. Because we'll just, like you just be sitting on the phone like, yeah, girl, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna do this. You don't know who that person talking to. You don't know who that person knows. You may not know that person has gone rogue. We've been friends for 20 years. I don't mean nothing. You don't know, that person might have found out they had cancer and they don't have the money to foot the bill. So now they feel like they got a scam to get ahead. That's the only way I'm gonna live, is if I do something illegal. Well, I heard so and so got some money coming in. I heard so and so got an inheritance or a trust fund. I heard so and so just got a new job and she bought a house or whatever it may be. I heard. See, people talk too much. That's what I'm saying. If people don't have your information, they don't have nothing to talk about. When you tell too much, when you always opening your mouth and telling people your plans, that's how they can destroy what you're trying to build. Stop talking so much. That's like people, like I'm saying, people really think something is wrong with me because no, honey, shut your mouth. You need to learn how to listen more and speak less. Observe the room. Watch people's behavior. It's more about what they do than what they say. And it even becomes less about what they do and more about their patterns of behavior. Watch them. And it may seem extreme to some people, but the things that have happened to me have been extreme also. The backlash of not protecting myself has been extreme. When you up here potentially could be facing federal charges for things that you didn't do, when people have sent people out to actually unalive you, when people have stolen in your name and scammed in your name and used your profile pictures on different sites to pretend to be you. There's another thing about social media. You're sitting up here putting all of your business in the street and people are just stealing your content, stealing your essence, and you think it's cool because like, oh, everybody knows me. Oh, well, no. When people can sit here and Photoshop and change your information and put you somewhere else pretending to be you. Now, if you big enough, it probably ain't going to work because you probably, more than likely, you have certain contingencies in place. See, the more money you have access to, the more you can protect yourself. But I'm talking to the people that may not have a lot of money because I don't. But what I'm saying is if you don't have a lot of money, you got to do other things to protect yourself, which means be quiet. A lot of it means be quiet. Stop sharing so much. Stop telling people all your business. Everybody don't need to go with you. Everybody, you don't need to have every time you leave, you don't need somebody to go with you. Sometimes you walking with people that done did things you don't know about. You friends with people you don't know who people are. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know who these people. I didn't know they got down like that. I didn't know they had some international crime ring for identity theft. I didn't know they scammed old people out of their checks and out of their homes and stuff like. I didn't know that. Those are my friends. Remember, these are people you thought you could trust, that you love, but you didn't know they was out here doing illegal things. But them your people though. You didn't know. So this is what I'm saying. You don't know when the tides will turn, when people will shift, and it's good until it's not. So that is human nature, that people are who they are today and somebody else tomorrow. So in understanding that, you need to protect yourself at all times. Don't be in your feelings. Don't be mad. Don't be sad about it. Just understand that things in life and people change. And so in understanding that, the PPP must be in place. It's not about being mad or upset or getting even or proving points. It ain't about none of that. It's about how do I pick up from here? How do I clean up my life? How do I advance myself? How do I get out of this situation and so it never happens again? Start listening to other people's stories. Start researching. Start asking questions. Go talk to law officials. Go talk to people. Make friends with people in cybersecurity. Learn. Go watch some of those criminals, the hackers and stuff. Go watch those. Go watch that stuff. Ain't no shame in it. Them people that go like on Scare Straight, and then people with the mask on their face that don't show their face, but they tell you everything they do. Go talk. Go listen. They tell you everything they do, how they watch you in your house, and you finna go on vacation. You gonna post it online. You finna go on vacation, and they been scoping out your neighborhood for the last 2 weeks, watching everything you do, waiting for you to leave so they can rob your house. I'm telling you, it's a cold world, baby. And as much as you want to live in the fantasy land that nothing's going on, everything is happening, everything is great. God is good all the time. He is, honey. But the devil is busy. Okay? God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. But the devil roams the earth. Okay? And sometimes bad things will happen to you because you need to tighten up. You sit up here asking God for millions of dollars, but you don't have the certain provisions in place. How I'm gonna bless you if you don't have your shit together? Why would I bless you and you around people that want to rob you? They're stealing from you right now. Why would I give you hundreds and thousands of dollars and they already done they steal your joy every day? If I gave you $1 million, you'd be dead by the end of the week. Listen, I don't have no lies to tell people. You can judge me all you want to. You can feel however you want to feel, but I know what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm saying is legitimate. So, with that being said, I hope this information has been useful to you. I hope that you continue to have a great rest of the day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, peace.